Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon for my fellow European peers. Welcome to the International Youth Conference Edition 8, and welcome to this panel. I'm Maria Sparaneri. I'm 22 years old. I'm an advisor at IYC and Young European Ambassador for Build U2, and I'll be the moderator of this session. A special thanks to our speakers for being here once again and for sharing the backgrounds and their experiences, their inspiring experiences with us all. In this session entitled European Union, a great opportunity for us as youth, we are going to focus on the opportunities that we are offered as youth living in the European Union. We all are aware about the many opportunities that we have in the European Union, but actually I believe, and it is the reason for which we all are here, that there is a huge need to deepen the subject, because it still hides the percentage of peers that I hear every day and who are not really aware about the many opportunities which are on the plate. So I'm referring to the many initiatives having the purpose, the goal of creating platforms, events, spaces, virtual as well as physical ones, where learning, where working, and where volunteering as well. For example, in relation to that, I could mention BD2, which is a project carried out by the Service Civic Européen, founded by the European Parliament, aimed at increasing youth participation in the European elections of 2024, of which, as I mentioned before, I'm part, and thanks to which I'm learning a lot, thanks to which I daily meet motivated peers who believe in the same cause as I do, and many other enriching points for my life as a human before as an activist. So the opportunities that we are daily given from the EU are really remarkable and deserve a specific space. When it comes to thinking about the opportunities that we have as European youth, I'm also thinking about the European Solidarity Corps. Actually, and personally, I have never joined this project, but we have here someone who did. So I would like to start with Alexandra. Alexandra, besides traveling and moving a bit around Europe, she took part in many volunteering projects, such as in Strasbourg, in France, or in Thessaloniki, in Greece, where she had been planning and implementing educational and extracurricular activities for children and youngsters, or in Corinth, always in Greece, where she managed and promoted educational activities, as well as she collaborated with NGOs. So, Alexandra, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Maria Sara. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's such a pleasure to remind you today in a very quick but effective way which are the many opportunities that we have access as youngsters living in the European Union. So, as Maria Sara said, I've been part of a European Solidarity Corps project. This is a type of program that is basically for targets young people from 18 until 30 years old, and it gives you the opportunity to volunteer while still receiving financial support, which can be very positive, when you are young and you're trying to actually give support to the community, but also in the same time, it will allow you to grow as a person, but also to meet new people, to discover a new culture, and also to broaden, your perspectives. These type of projects have a duration of minimum 2 months to a maximum of 12 months. But I'm gonna give you a little tip if you want to apply to any of this. You can apply to multiple short-term projects, but 2 months projects. But once you have done a long-term one, so 6 months or more, you cannot apply to other projects. So if you're interested in European Solidarity Corps, go with the shorter projects and then go for the bigger ones so you can have access to more of them. An amazing new in this field is the humanitarian aid action. It's still part of the European Solidarity Corps, but there are some news. This targets people from 18 until 35 years old. So if you're more than 30, there's still something for you out there, which I think is amazing. It's based mainly on humanitarian activities. It's kind of the same of European Solidarity Corps, But listen to me, you can go worldwide with this type of program. It's still financed by the EU, but if you want to go and apply for a project in Brazil or in Nigeria, you can do that. So it's, an amazing opportunity for people that are 30 plus, but also for the ones that are still 18 but wants to go farther away and volunteer help, but also discover a new culture and country. Then we have the Erasmus Plus program. I think you kind of know this one because I feel it's very famous right now, between our generation. But I still feel there are some things about Erasmus Plus that people don't know yet. A lot of people think that Erasmus Plus is only for university students. It's a way, for them to get a financial help, a logistic help in order to, do their degree in a partner university in another country. But it's not only about the universitarian people, and it's not only about the studium part. You can do an internship abroad with the Erasmus Plus program while you are a student or when you just graduated, as long as you apply when you are still a student. There are also Erasmus youth exchanges. These are just small exchanges for 1 week, 2 weeks, where you can apply and you can be part of a project, and which means you're gonna work, you're gonna collaborate with other young people from other countries, and it's an amazing way to discuss, to be out there, to make while also connected with people from different countries. And also on this type of program, I would like to remind you that there are so many projects that are inside of the Erasmus Youth Exchange, but they are far away because they are in islands like Reunion, which is still part of the European Union territory, even if it's not geographically located here. So I think it's even a bigger opportunity because it gives you the the chance to discover places that are so far away and so different and broaden your horizons. Then we have the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs, and this is also something that I feel not many people know about. So if you have already your own business, if you have a business idea and you don't know where to start, you can apply for that, and you can get funds from the European Union, and they will also you can go abroad because it's based on making people to go abroad, and also to have someone, an entrepreneur, to help you develop your skills and your business with more facility. Then I have some other two opportunities prepared for you, and I'm very curious if you already know these ones. So we have discover.eu. This is something particular because it's just for people between 18 and 20, sorry, not 12, 18 and 20 years old. So it's, let's say, a smaller range of people, but this gives you the opportunity to discover the European Union by train for free. Yeah, it's really for free. So you can, there are 60,000 travel rain passes, free travel rain passes every year. And if you're lucky enough, you can win one of these. So in order to discover the European Union in a very environmental friendly way. And last of all, but very, very important, are the traineeships in the EU institutions. So I would like to remember you that, as young people living in the European Union, we really have a voice, and we should not forget that. This is why it is possible, if you have a university degree, to do a traineeship at the European Parliament, at the European Commission, or at the Council of Europe. These are paid internships, usually for 6 months. You have to apply in advance. There are 2 sessions, but you can find all the informations on the website of every institution. So once again, remember, you have the Schumann internship for the European Parliament. You have the Blue Book for the Commission, and then there's also an internship at the Council of Europe. That, if I'm not wrong, it should already be open now for the session, for the winter session. So these are the opportunities that I prepared for you today. I would just like to say another quick thing. All these kind of opportunities are amazing for us, not only to create a better society for us, for the next generations, but also for us as persons. It allows us to grow a lot, to develop our skills, to have more confidence, and this is something that we need as youth that will lead tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alexandra, for having shared your valuable experience on the ground with us. You have given us many details for those who wish to take part in these opportunities. And it's really important, to have an insight from someone who has been directly in contact with the field in order to have an idea about the concrete outcome of these opportunities about we generally hear about or read about. We will have time for going through questions if someone would like to know more about specific subjects at the end of the panel. Moving on to the next speaker, we have here with us Adriano Coco. Welcome, Adriano. Aside from being a Greek colleague and a friend of mine, he's a senior event manager and board of directors member of the International Community NGO, in the framework of which he will tell us which is his role in implementing the subject of the present panel, thus the opportunities for young Europeans. Moreover, he is currently taking part to Erasmus Plus project in France. So can you also share some points concerning your current experience? Adriano, the floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you very much. So, esteemed organizers and distinguished participants, I want to express my sincere gratitude to the staff board of the IYC for extending to me an invitation to participate in this edition of the International Youth Conference, as well as for the opportunity provided to me to address the audience of this hybrid discussion about the European Union. So, as you just mentioned, I'm a 20-year-old undergraduate student enrolled in the third year of the bachelor degree program in Diplomatic International Sciences at University of Bologna in Italy. But currently, as you just mentioned, I'm in Rennes for a 2-semester Erasmus Plus study exchange program at Sciences Po. So why am I here today, and what should I discuss with such a knowledgeable audience made of talented people and youngsters wishing to influence local policymakers and shape the future of their countries, and specifically the future of the European Union? So these were and still are my driving questions for today, which I will try to answer. In particular, considering my first firm belief in the relevance of on-field experiences to gain those much-needed skills to apply theory in our real world, I wanted to foster this vision by joining several youth organizations, such as the International Community that you just mentioned, Maria Sara, of which I'm currently an executive board member, or also United Network EU, of which I'm a talent advisor, or Together EU. Indeed, I'm also an activist there, and Build You2, as you were also mentioning before. So my involvement originated and still focuses on the participation and then organization of youth events in the field of the European Union, its opportunities for young people, and raising social awareness, especially now that we're almost near the European elections of 2024, but also about the United Nations as well. But how exactly did I get involved in such events or initiatives and join the aforementioned youth organizations? Well, I could perhaps trace back my involvement in European and international initiatives aiming at empowering young people's action in our countries to as early as 2015. Yeah, because I was attending as a middle school student an Erasmus Plus project in Poland that was called Terre d'Europe, Terre d'Avenir. And I also want to thank you, my former professors, for giving me this incredible opportunity to get involved in such an amazing project. And I started an adventure in this small component that is this Erasmus Plus project that is actually part of the family of the European Union Erasmus Plus projects. And indeed, the values of being open-minded, cultural exchange and cooperation, as well as the skills developed in language proficiency and practical topics, would have developed and helped me in discovering what my future career, as well as work aspirations, would be. Therefore, I'm proud to be part of the Erasmus Plus generation since then. However, that experience had hopefully a second chapter in 2019 in France, titled Let's Share Our Lives, Let's Share the Air, about immigration, whilst I was in my fourth year of high school, and just before the COVID pandemic. So I actually have to say that I was really extremely lucky, because then we know that the pandemic just stopped everything. But now, hopefully, here we are again, and we can travel. Now, instead, I'm glad to be participating in the most known Erasmus Plus program that is not for school, but for university students. And I'm now in France completing the third year of my bachelor. It is significant for me to bring and to briefly highlight how such one-week projects held in schools and featuring school twinning, and then also my Erasmus Plus experience now for these 2 semesters that are also part of these flagship educational initiatives that the European Union is promoting. And I'm going to say why and what are, if there are any other initiatives that were or are still in place. Like, we're not talking only about Erasmus, also the previous guest speaker also was mentioning. So there are several actually, and for example, I can mention the conference on the future of Europe, the European Solidarity Corps, and the European Youth Event, in which I also took part in last June in Strasbourg. So, but today I'm going to focus on specifically 3 initiatives that have actually had a major impact on myself. And I'm talking about the European Year of Youth 2022, the Together You initiative, and the Level Up 2022 Accelerating Change project that took place in Brussels. And also, I have to say that probably that opened the doors to many connections and also to my friendship with our current moderator, Sara. So actually, I want to give you a brief explanation of what is the European Year of Youth. So basically, this is a key, like the concept of knowing the European Year of Youth is a key to understanding also the other 2 initiatives that I previously mentioned. So, announced in occasion of the 2021 State of the Union Address, the EYY had 4 main goals: to celebrate, support, and engage youth in promoting youth, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, helping poor and diverse adolescents develop skills and a European identity that is nowadays really important, helping young people understand and use EU, national, regional, and local personal, social, economic, and professional development possibilities. And finally, also, it is aimed at encouraging youth participation in EU policymaking and also enlarging the EU youth strategy that has been started in 2019 and that will end in 2027. Since the EU has provided me with plenty of personal growth opportunities, as I was already mentioning before, starting already in the middle school then, and I wanted to give something back to the European Union, as I felt that civic duty to also shape our future. And in what way? What I'm doing right now. So, for instance, by challenging myself and getting involved in the Together You initiative by the European Parliament that was initially launched in 2019 in occasion of the 2019 EU elections. As the next European elections in 2024 approach, Together You is a community of democracy believers who want to give it significance. It helps young Europeans interact, exchange information, and gain new skills while boosting 2024 voting participation. And in this framework, I also want to mention that also the initiative Build EU2 is one of those external initiatives that are partnering with the European Parliament, as also Maria Sara just told us in the introduction, that will help us improving and raising awareness among young people. I would also like then to recall Jacques Delors, the 8th president of the EU Commission, question that actually posed a question in one of his speeches. How can we ever build Europe if young people do not see it as a collective project and a vision of their own future? I would ask you also the same question here online and for those that are in presence in New York. So, because this is a really central question, and probably this is also a question that is really relevant for today's panel. In the meantime, that I leave you thinking of a possible answer to this question, I already a couple of years ago, I came up with a possible solution to this question. So having in mind such important goals of involving more people in the EU sphere, I decided to get involved in more youth events, organization, and in advocacy. In particular, last year I decided to take part in a European Parliament competition to increase Together EU community of young Europeans active in the advocacy field. It has been challenging, as it meant working a lot, as I had to gather as many contacts as possible over Italy and also over the entire European Union. And as possible and also these people had to register on this platform. So this platform was actually useful, but still many people didn't know about this. So this challenge was really tough and also a bit it has been really an hard work because you have also to convince people and also let them understand why we have this platform and what is the European Parliament doing for us. I can still remember those days later here, as well as as the moment I got selected then, because this competition was started in July, as I remember well, yes, and it ended in September. So I remember still those days when I got selected and I got the call to attend the Level Up 2022 event in Brussels. So it was really astonishing. So apart from this competition, however, I want to say that those kind of events such as Level Up are always around the corner. So be aware because, on social media, European Youth Event page, but also other EU institutions are always promoting this kind of initiatives. And in particular, Level Up was an incredible youth event that has gathered more than 1,300 young people from all over the continent, with the main aim to provide space for development of skills that change makers needed and still need to accelerate change in their local communities. Given the relevance and the reach of today's panel, and the fact that still the Together EU platform is growing, I explored the time at my disposal to encourage you to register, as we can act together by attending events or getting invited to events such as Level Up, for example, but also, as in my case, in promoting other events that you may have in your mind, or with your NGOs if you're part of NGOs or youth organization. Much has been done, so we can say that much has been done, but still many more things have to be accomplished. Nevertheless, it is already remarkable what youth have been capable of in these years, especially last year, that was the European Year of Youth. And in this year, I want to precise that if last year was the European Year of Youth, today this year is instead the European Year of Skills. By the way, apart from the astonishing effort made by all of the most important EU institutions, so the Commission and especially the Parliament, also NGOs and youth organizations have been playing a crucial role for the career development of young people in Europe. And here it comes. So I'm also part of the international community, and that is an NGO that has been founded in 2021 in Ukraine and now operating mainly in Europe, and of which I'm now an executive board member. And this actually is a tangible example of what Europe is capable of to offer. So basically, not only EU institutional and official activities, but also youth organization organizing really interesting workshops all over Europe, so in presence and also online. And we're also trying, as international community, to cooperate with institutions to empower young people and promote their rights. In particular, I joined the organization as I share the common value of offering networking opportunities and collaboration in the realm of international relations and policy formulation. International community aims, in this case, to advance the principles of democracy, human rights, and equality through events such as meetings with top-rank officials within the European Union or other international organizations, and so with all other experts of the field. And other projects including also, for example, the Model European Union that is currently organized online, but also other initiatives that are not only talking about Europe, but also about the United Nations, for example. And additionally, we seek to assist young individuals in acquiring professional competencies, international exposure, and political knowledge, while fostering the exchange of expertise and ideas. So, in conclusion, I want to thank again all the organizers for the invitation and all the participants to whom I wish to succeed in getting the most out of our panel and also get the most out of the European Union, as there are plenty of opportunities, and I hope that you will get involved as soon as possible in some of the initiatives also on these platforms. So I give back the floor to you, Maria Sara. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriano. It's always really inspiring and empowering to hear about peers so eager to make an impact for the future, but also for the present, in the present. It's important to be empowered from time to time, hearing about the willingness that many peers in general have in creating new opportunities out of those ones who already we're given. Because we here have to recall ourselves all the time that we are privileged, that we have the moral duty though, or better said, we have the concrete duty of creating new opportunities more and more, even for those ones who do not have the same privilege as we have. So thanks again, Adriano, for your interventions and reflections. And our next change maker is Lucia from Spain. She's engaged in promoting SDGs. In fact, she has been a youth delegate to ECOSOC Youth Forum in 2021. And aside to that, she's also deeply committed in the field of European youth activism, since she's a local social impact coordinator and ESN Erasmus Student Network and EC2 European Campus of City Universities student representative. So Lucia, now the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so thankful for the invitation and being in this panel talking about European youth, European opportunities. I wanted to start making a small reflection. We usually talk about youth without stopping to think about what it means to be young. The same happens when we talk about activism, opportunities, or Europe. Even if dictionaries try to, you can never give a loyal and detailed definition of these words because they have such a huge personal meaning. Each young person living in Europe lives its youth in a different way. It has a different background. So we should have opportunities for all of us that apply to our different ways of living. I'm going to talk about my personal experience because this last year of my life has been one of the best ones so far, thanks to the European Union and all the opportunities it gave me. Alexandra was talking about the Discover You scholarship, and 1 year ago in summer, I got emailed that I had gained this scholarship with one of my best friends. I remember it was a really, really special moment to me, and I realized two things thanks to that. We had to cancel the trip last minute, so we couldn't enjoy the travel traveling by train all over Europe. So the first thing is that not everyone is willing to live Europe, its youth, and its life the same way you are. My friend was really scared of going alone, traveling around, but this makes you realize that each one has different objectives in its life, and it teaches you to respect, okay, each other's. Each one has a time, and that's perfect. I mean, all of people here have done a lot of things. We're really young, but maybe some of the people listening are going to do it some years later. It's okay. You don't have to rush. Each one has its time. And the second thing was that Europe was there. It was not a lie. It was not impossible to gain the scholarship, and I was able to achieve what I wanted. So then I started university, and a completely whole continent opened to me. And the first thing that came was ESN, Erasmus Student Network. It is not usual to join before going on Erasmus, but I did, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. This organization seeks to help Erasmus students in their destinations by offering them support, administrative support, even psychological, and we organize activities to them, different trips, but also we seek to improve Erasmus students' rights and economic aids. We have debates and talks with the EU institutions all over the year. We make the ESN survey, which takes the opinion of all Erasmus students each year to see what are the lacks in the program and how we can improve it. I fell in love with international ambience, with the European ambience. My social life is and was and it's gonna be amazing because every day you're meeting new people from all over Europe. The conversations are amazing. You always learn new things. And when you try to integrate foreign students in your city, in your culture, you feel like you're the one creating the opportunities and the experiences. You're an ambassador of your culture, and it is amazing. At the end of the day, as Adriana was saying, Europe gives us a lot, and you feel that you have to give something to it. So being able to create these opportunities, it's so great. Also about my experience as an ESM volunteer, as Sarah said, I started contributing as head of the social impact committee in my city. And I took also the responsibility of being a student representative as in EC2U. It's a university alliance. This is something I wanted to talk about. Currently, the European Commission is financing and supporting alliances between universities. The objective is to make campus at a European level. So you, as a student, will have the same rights and opportunities in your university, in your country, as well as in another one in 7 or 8 different countries in Europe. I really encourage you to take part in master's or bachelor degrees that that are held in universities that belong to these alliances, because they provide lots of scholarships and educational opportunities, and it's really great for your development. Continuing with ESN, finally, I submitted my candidacy to be a member and to have a voice and a vote in the association, and it has been recently approved. So there's something that this organization has taught me. It is not only about holding posts and names as a student representative, but overcoming barriers as fear, shame. I have learned to stand for my ideas and opinions. It has been a personal development. So all the opportunities that you can take them, because they will be great, not only for your CV, but also for yourselves, for your development. Trust me. ESN, especially ESN Spain, goes really close and follows the same line as Sustainable Development Goals. Some of the causes that we defend are culture, education, youth, health, well-being, social inclusion, employability, learning skills, and sustainability. And I really think that all associations, even if it's Europe or not, should follow these SDGs, right? I mean, all youth has to be in this together. We talked about the European Youth Event. I'm going to talk about a smaller one. I was a participant at the local European Youth Event here in Spain. It was the first one that was not done in Strasbourg, and it was an amazing experience. I had the opportunity to meet a lot of EU workers, to get engaged in lots of interesting debates about Europe's future. I really encourage people to go to local eyes or even to organize them. It may seem impossible, but it's not. We did it. It was possible. I was not an official organizer, but all my friends were. And yeah, it's hard work, but it's beautiful to see how everything comes out and getting all the youth together. We've talked about European Solidarity Corps. Sarah said, me neither. I couldn't did it, but I hope that in the future I'll be a European volunteer with Solidarity Corps. I mean, the opportunities are amazing, as Alexandra have said. They are infinite. So it's something that could enrich your life forever, and also it will be really helpful for someone. I'm sure about it. Erasmus Plus projects, wow, they've changed my life. I've attended to 2 of them. One was in Denmark. It was the first time that I did a really, really long trip by myself, and I felt capable of everything. I met new people. I had a roommate. She's from Serbia. She's one of my best friends now, and I couldn't have met her without going to that Erasmus Plus. You learn to live with other cultures, to learn and to share all the day together. I also was in Poland, and I was able to make one of my my favorite things, which is dancing. These opportunities are all financed and all given by the European Union. I'm not rich. It would have been impossible for me to do that by myself and my own money. So search for the opportunities because they are there and they are for everyone, every young people there. To start finishing, I will be visiting Poitiers, France, as the student representative of ESN EC2U Alliance in 2 weeks. Also, I will be attending to the World Forum of Democracy in Strasbourg, thanks to the Council of Europe. If you have told me this 1 year ago, I would have told you this was not true. It was impossible. It was impossible for me to think that I was someone that could get these opportunities. But every one of you can get them, and if you work for them, they are there. And finally, after all these adventures, in January, I'll be moving to Lille, France, to make my Erasmus. I'll be there studying for 6 months. So I'm really happy to finally be part of the Erasmus experience, because as we say in ESN, we are the Erasmus generation, the culture generation. Multiculturalism is our flag. So yeah, I just hope that if you have any question, then you'll make at the end. I'm willing to give you all that you need to apply to these opportunities. You're just an email, Google Forms away from living the experience of your life, the one that can open a lot of doors for you. So call me a dreamer, but there's no other place in the world as Europe that seeks for this union, that seeks for this cooperation, understanding between youth and everyone. So it's us that we should take these opportunities and preserve what right now the EU is building for us. And it was a pleasure to share everything with you. I hope it was all clear. Thank you so much again for having me here today.
Thank you so much, Lucia, for this insightful and experience-based reflection of yours. I particularly would like to highlight, to point out your reflection about being young before everything else, because actually this moment of our life is really important, is really crucial for the way we are going to turn out to be parents, loving parents, careful parents, sensitive adults as well. So it's important to recall ourselves all the day long and every day, all the time, that we have just to take one step at a time, because we have just to take them when we feel like we are supposed to take them, not like the society wants for us. And so there are no fixed terms, fixed times, and fixed steps we have to follow. By the way, I have to admit also that I got really touched when you pronounced Poitiers, because actually it took place my Erasmus, and in June I have just got back from there. And for me too, it has been really a life-changing opportunity that I want to recommend to everyone who is listening. And yes, it's really life-changing and forever. Our last but not least speaker activist is Nerea Matteo. We are honored to have you here. Nerea mostly writes Erasmus projects for Madup Association, which is a Spanish association dealing with creating and shutting down new ideas in order to be sent afterwards to the Erasmus department of the European Union for approval. In addition to that, she's about to deal with legal procedure in order to create her own headquarters, right, of the Madup Association in Barcelona. So the floor is yours, Nerea.
Hi, thank you, Marisara, and thank you all the participants for being here and giving me the opportunity to be here also, speaking with you in a topic that really matters to me. I would like to talk a little bit more about Erasmus Plus. I know that Alexandra and also Adriano and Lucia also mentioned it, but I would like to go a little bit farther on it because it's the theme that I have more experience with. So I prepare kind of a list with some of the key areas covered by Erasmus Plus that I would like to mention and also talk about. And like I said, go a little bit farther here. I have 6 main points. That would be, like we said, student mobility, because Erasmus Plus offers students the opportunity to study or do internships in another European country. This includes both higher education, that would be college, and vocational and technical training. Then we have teaching and non teaching staff mobility, because it facilitates exchanges for teachers, academic, and non academic staff from educational institutions to teach classes, receive training, and participate in projects abroad. Cooperation projects. It funds projects that promote cooperation and innovation in education and training. These projects can involve educational institutions, youth organizations, and other entities. Then we have European Voluntary Service. That would be like it provides young people with the opportunity to engage in volunteer activities in another European country. Almost last but no, skills development and employability, one of the most important ones also, because it supports the development of skills and employability of young people through training programs and work placements. And then now, yes, last but not least, support for sports, because Erasmus Plus also supports sports related initiatives, including coach training, capacity development in sports management, and projects that promote sports as a means of social inclusion. Um, I would like to say that explain a little bit how all this started for me. I'm just 17 years old, a minor, and everyone at the beginning told me, okay, this is not possible. Like, forget about all these ideas that you have about Erasmus Plus, international experiences, European Solidarity Corps. Just forget about it, because you have to grow, you have to have your life, and then maybe when you are 25 you can think about it again, you know because you're just a kid. That was what I have been hearing all my life, and now I'm here to say that that's not true. That all young people, also teenagers, also kids, can do that change in society that we are waiting for. That it's not about being 18 years old or being 25 or 45 to be able to say, okay, I don't think this is right, or I think we could change this, or I think I could actually be a change maker in this society and improve not only my life but also the lives of a lot of people surround me. So I would like to continue with a question, really important question, that I asked myself a lot of times when I didn't know about what Erasmus was and why a lot of people were talking about that, or why we should all join. So, how Erasmus helps the society, why it's worth it, and why we should all join this movement. So, I also prepared some kind of a list with some reasons. I have 8 in particular. That would be promoting international mobility, like we all said. They offer trainings, internships, and a lot of experiences and opportunities. Then employability, because the training and internship opportunities abroad provided by Erasmus Plus have helped young people develop valuable skills and increase their employability, because many employers value international experience and intercultural competencies gained during stays abroad. Cooperation and knowledge transfer. The program has promoted collaboration among educational institutions, youth organizations, and other entities. This has led to the transfer of best practices and the exchange of knowledge, improving the quality of education and training across Europe. Then we have social inclusion and active citizenship, because Erasmus Plus has supported projects that promote social inclusion, equal opportunities, and the active participation of young people in society. This has contributed to the formation of more engaged and aware European citizens. We also have internationalization of higher education. It has driven the internationalization of educational institutions by facilitating the mobility of academic staff and collaboration on research and development projects. Promotion of linguistic diversity. Um, because with the participation in programs like Erasmus Plus, this encourages language learning and foster intercultural communication, which is essential in a multicultural and multilingual Europe. That is what we are trying to achieve. Regional and local development is also a point that I wanted to highlight because the program has also benefited regions and local communities by fostering collaboration and the development of local and regional projects. And then the last one would be European awareness and sense of belonging. I would say that this one is kind of my favorite one of all of this because for me, Erasmus Plus has also contributed to the sense of belonging to the European Union and the community that we are all part of. And it promotes a greater understanding of cultural diversity and European unity. Um, I would also like to continue with my role in the MADAP Association, the association that Maria Sara was talking about at the beginning. Um, Despite my young age, for as long as I can remember, I have had a passion for what Erasmus programs represent. Because, like Lucia was talking about, I'm also not rich, and without having the possibility of doing all these international experiences for free, I would never ever do it at all. I come from a single parent family, so it's just my mom, my brother, and me. And yeah, I'm really grateful for the support of the European Union, all the organizations, and all the associations that make this actually possible. And that's why that after experience the Erasmus Plus program for my first hand, I didn't hesitate for a second to contribute so that hundreds of people could benefit from this and the life-changing impact that it actually represents. It all began when I did my first Erasmus Plus program in Bulgaria. I was really, I could say, nervous because it was my first time going outside my comfort zone. That was actually Spain, France, and Italy. So it was a completely new experience for me and also my family that was, I could say, a little bit terrified by the idea, but it was a completely life changing experience. I met some awesome people that were working for the same that I was. The project here was about sports and healthy lifestyle. And it was such an awesome feeling to feel what I was telling that I belong to a place because it's really difficult, and it was really difficult for me personally to be surrounded by people that were telling me that my ideas were such crazy, that they were never gonna happen, and that I had to forget everything because it was not my life, to say it in one way. So I arrived to Bulgaria. I have such an awesome experience that I'm gonna never forget, and I'm gonna keep here in my heart forever. Then I went to France to have my second Erasmus um, to work with like the environmental issue. We made a podcast about how we could improve the situation and try to stop the climate change or try our best at least. And then my third one was in Turkey. Actually, some days ago, I just came back, but some days ago. And it was again about sports and inclusion. I wanted to highlight this part of inclusion because, okay, Erasmus Plus, personally for me, at the beginning was to have a nice experience, to meet some people, and, being able to be there and work with that people for something. But it's also training. I went to Turkey because I have been volunteering with people with Down syndrome and disabilities for a long time. So I thought that work for an inclusion project could actually help me to help them. It was not only an experience for me and my development of skills, my development of ideas, but also a development of the well being of other people. And I think that's also the point here. Not only keep what these amazing opportunities from the European Union not only keep it for you, but also share the results, share your experiences, share your ideas. That is exactly what we are doing right now here, sharing how awesome this is and trying to spread the idea of you should join, you should come, you should try it, even if it's only once in your life. You should be able to say, I was there and I was part of it. And now, finally, going with the association, I have been part of the MADAP association that, like Maria Sara said, is based in Valencia, Spain. And I joined with the intention of ensuring that this wonderful movement continues to grow and reaches even more people. I try to, like I said, spread the idea of Erasmus because not a lot of people know about them, and that's such a shame, actually. So within the association, my responsibilities include project promotion, social media management, participant selection. I'm the one reading applications, doing interviews, etc. Travel arrangements, terms and well-beings of the participants, also really important, and writing and drafting projects that can later be approved by the European Union. Currently, we are working on projects to meet the established deadline, which is February 23rd, 2024. Our projects typically cover a wide range of topics such as fake news detection, critical thinking development, youth leadership, European values, and more, more, and more. I'm thrilled to be a part of this great movement. Like I said, the feeling of belonging. And yeah, like Maria Sara also said, I'm doing all the paperwork, all the formal paperwork to create my association, the base, also MADAP association, but based in Barcelona also. And I'm just really, really, really excited to try this because it's such a difficult thing also. It's not just okay, I'm going to create an association and I'm going to write projects, all my projects are going to be accepted, and then everyone is going to be happy with this. It's not that. At the beginning we can think that it is. It's not. Anyways, it's worth it, and I encourage everyone that has the opportunity to not only go on an Erasmus, but also get involved with associations, working for it, volunteering for it, trying our best to just make more people going and just give the opportunity that someone gave to us, just give it to another person. I think that's the most wonderful thing. And that's the point that I wanted to highlight also. For me personally, Erasmus has become synonymous with empathy, respect, and social collaboration. And when I say Erasmus, I also say all the European Union opportunities: empathy, respect, and social collaboration. In conclusion, I want to encourage everyone to participate in programs like this. If, like I said, completely free. Um, we have different periods. We have long periods, short periods. So you can just see your schedule and go with the one that fits your schedule best, and get involved in initiatives that promotes positive change in our communities and the world at large. The experience I have had with Erasmus has been, I would say, I'm trying to find a word that actually describe it. I would say transformative, and I'm just really grateful. Like I said, because without this, I would have never been able to experience such a nice, nice programs. And finally, I would also like to thank again for the opportunity to have taken part in this enriching conference for the entire world, and also say that I would like to highlight the last sentence. That would be that we should make a positive impact together and build a more inclusive and collaborative future for all, because that's what all the opportunities in the European Union and all around the world are about. So, thank you.
Thank you, Nerea. Your intervention has been really the icing on the cake. let's say, and a concrete insight in the field of Erasmus, and also it's behind the scenes perspective, since you are a creative too in the field. Now, approaching the end of the panel, I would like to share two conclusions and reflections. As we have learned today from our speaker, we can be part of the change we wish. We wish for our generation, for our own future, but also for creating the bed that we want to create to lay the foundation for our children. So, well, it's true, we are the future, but in the present we can create opportunities. We can be part of the big opportunity coming with European Union, with this important reality called European Union. So we have to act now. We have to advocate even for those ones who do not haven't got the same opportunities that we have. Our speaker have shown us how big could be the importance of getting involved in creating new platforms, new realities, even letting our creativity to take the lead in order to enhance what we already have, but making it bigger and bigger. So once again, I would like to recall the concept of the privilege we have, because we do not have to take it for granted even for a second. I try to recall it to myself all the time, most of all during hard times, during my downs and my ups. We are deeply privileged to be here discussing about the opportunities we got for free, as you all have highlighted, and not thinking about, for example, how to cope with the war or with an authoritarian government at the moment. So thus, in conclusion, I want to say that we have to use for the future, starting from tomorrow, from the moment, the instant after the conference, we have to use our social condition and the opportunity we got today for creating the foundation and new opportunities for tomorrow, and even for a bigger number of peers, not just for us. So let's see now if there is any question on site. Otherwise, the panel is ended, because I think that a new panel is about to start now. So Shurabe, maybe you are there. If there is any question, we can answer, or we disconnect. Shurabe. Or maybe Jessica. No, no one. No. Okay, I guess we can disconnect. Maybe we can leave on social media, even for in the page of International Youth Conference, our references. So if you audience online have any question, you can write to our emails or our Instagram accounts of the five of us. Have a good day to everyone, and thank you once again to you speakers for your enriching, insightful opportunities that you talk about and you share.
Thank you for having us all.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.